Herbert Jones, ESL Development Corporation, South Wind Circle, Westlake Village, Boccaccio's, Elena Smith, New Zealand, Australia, Europe, United States.
And for the plaintiff's attorney, I am Mr. Cacioppo.
I will be defense attorney number 1, Mr. Levy.
I am defense attorney number 2, Ms. Moran.
And I'll be the witness.
And I will begin the dictation in colloquy. Ready? All right. Let me caution the witness. As I mentioned before, you don't want to guess. If you know, then he's entitled to that information.
I don't know. Who controls the Jones Family Trust?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to take a real good guess and say my parents do.
No. Let me try again. Don't guess, okay? If you know, then he's entitled to that information. If you don't know, then the correct answer is you don't know.
All right. Do you believe that your parents control it?
I believe so.
Do you have any information that any other individual is involved in controlling the Jones Family Trust other than your parents?
No.
Okay. Have you ever observed your parents act in any capacity on behalf of the Jones Family Trust?
Have I what?
Have you ever observed your parents act in any capacity on behalf of the Jones Family Trust?
What does that mean?
Well, have you ever observed them do any work for the Jones Family Trust?
What do you mean, work?
Are you aware of them participating in any type of a business relationship with any other person on behalf of the Jones Family Trust?
No.
Okay. Do you know if the Jones Family Trust has any assets?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have any information that there is any business relationship between the Jones Family Trust and ESL Development Corporation?
I don't know.
Do you know if the Jones Family Trust has ever had an office?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a document that was entitled the Jones Family Trust?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Has your father ever told you what the purpose of the Jones Family Trust was?
No.
Okay. Have you ever observed your mother participating in the management of the ESL Development Corporation?
I do believe I've seen her with a checkbook. I think she did some bookwork for it.
When was the last time you ever saw her do that?
Years ago. Probably when I was... just right when I was getting married. I'm sure of that.
And what's your mother's current address?
I gave it to you. 1409 South Wind Circle.
Okay. And does she reside there with anybody else?
No.
Does she have a housekeeper?
No.
Does she have a day nurse, somebody else to assist her?
No.
Is she presently employed, as far as you know?
No.
Okay. When was the last time she was employed?
To my knowledge, before her marriage.
Okay, and as far as you know, she was never employed subsequent to marrying your father?
That's correct.
Okay, what is her general state of health? Strike that. How old is she?
She's, let's see, I think she's about 67.
Okay. And as far as you know, does she have any disabilities?
She has problems with her knee, and she has a hearing loss.
And how long has she had some impairment to her hearing, as far as you know?
As long as I can remember.
Does she wear a hearing aid?
Yes.
Do you know if she has ever been hospitalized for any problems pertaining to her hearing disability?
I don't remember.
Okay. How is her eyesight, as far as you know?
As far as I know, it's good.
Can she read?
Yes.
Can she write?
Yes.
She speaks English, I presume.
Yes.
Does she have any difficulty speaking English?
No.
As far as you know, does she have any difficulty understanding English?
No.
Okay. If I were to sit down and conduct a deposition with her, like I'm doing with you, do you think she would be able to understand me?
She's highly intelligent.
I'm sorry, could we have the question read back?
I'll rephrase the question, okay?
That's fine, but I'd like it the way it is.
I'm not questioning her intelligence. I'm questioning whether or not you feel that she is competent and in good enough physical condition to answer questions, as you are.
Yes.
Okay. When did you first meet Elena Smith?
When did I first meet her? Probably a year ago.
Okay. And where did you meet her?
At Boccaccio's.
That would be Boccaccio's restaurant in Westlake Village.
Yes.
And did you just have dinner with her?
Yes.
Okay, and over the last year, how many times have you personally met with her?
2 or 3 times?
Have you ever personally met with her where only you and her were at that meeting?
No.
Was it generally a situation where... Was your father always present?
Yes.
Have you ever talked with her on the phone?
Just when she answers it, and I have to ask to speak to my father.
So, is that the limit, the general limitation, normal limitations
Of our relationship, yes.
of your relationship? Okay. Have you ever discussed any type of business with her?
No.
Do you know how long she has resided in the same residence with your father?
I can't be specific. I don't know.
Well, would you say it's more than a year?
Yes.
Did your father and her ever reside anywhere other than their present residence, as far as you know?
Yes.
Where was that?
I don't know.
When was that?
Before they moved to this residence,
Okay.
and I don't know the length of time either.
Do you know if your father ever resided with her while still married to your mother?
Yes.
And do you know approximately how long?
No.
Do you know what her vocation is?
Yes, was, I believe, in real estate sales.
Have you ever been involved in any type of business relationship with her that pertained to that vocation as a real estate agent?
No.
You've never hired her to perform...
No.
You have to let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Perform some type of... Let me rephrase that. Have you ever hired her to perform some type of duties as pertaining to a real estate agent?
Are you including the situation at present, counsel?
I'm including everything. Have you ever... Mr. Levi, I really wouldn't appreciate your not asking me to modify my questions. Let me rephrase that. Have you ever employed Elena Smith in her capacity as a real estate agent to perform some services for you individually?
No.
Did you ever enter into any kind of contract with her?
No.
Do you know if your father...
Could you speak a little louder? My hearing isn't so good.
Do I know if my father has entered into a contract with her?
Yes.
No, I don't know.
Just give me a second to make my objection. My objection is that it calls for a legal conclusion to decide whether it's a contract or not.
Do you know if your husband has ever entered into a written contract with Elena Smith?
Same objection. You can answer it if you know.
No, he hasn't.
Have you ever sent any letters to Elena Smith?
No.
Have you ever received any letters from Elena Smith?
No.
Have you ever Have you ever sent Elena Smith any documents?
No.
Has she ever sent you any documents?
No.
Have you ever handed her any documents?
No.
Has she ever handed you any documents?
No.
Okay. Have you ever seen a document that had her name on it and your name on it?
I don't think so.
Are you aware of a vacation that your father took outside the United States within the last year with Elena Smith?
I believe he did.
Do you know when that was?
I can't be specific. No, I don't remember.
Was it within the last year, though?
Yes.
And do you know if he's taken more than one, quote, voyage outside the United States with Elena Smith at any point in time?
Yes.
How many times would you say Herbert Jones and Elena Smith have together left the United States?
2 or 3 times.
Okay. Do you recall the first time that they did this?
No.
Okay. Approximately how long ago would that have been?
I don't recall.
Was it more than 5 years ago?
No, I don't think so.
All right. The first time they left the United States, do you know where they went?
I'm guessing. I'm recalling I think it was New Zealand.
Okay. But you don't know exactly when that was?
No.
Do you know what the purpose of that voyage was, that trip was?
Pleasure, I assume.
Okay. So it was what most people refer to, what you would refer to as a vacation?
Uh-huh.
You have to answer yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And on that trip that they went on, do you know if they went any place other than New Zealand?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you know if your father conducted any business on that trip?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And do you recall the second trip that your father took outside the United States with Elena Smith? In other words, do you know where that was?
I don't remember.
Okay. What about the third trip? Do you recall where that trip was to?
I think that was New Zealand.
So there were 2 trips to New Zealand?
Or was it Australia? I'm not sure.